Hey,
Every time. Let's go.
every
Fucking clap.
time.
I
It's
just got
fucking
that on a
fantastic.
loop. I just fucking, it's in my head. I'm in the headset. I'm bumping pre-workout, just sniffing in the corner, just fucking listening to Between the Bros intro.
So welcome to episode 7 of Between the Brothers. And now we actually have our own handle. So now it's youtube.com/@betweenthebrothers. And you don't have to have this crazy ass URL that means absolutely craziness, like a UUID, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's almost
It's,
like
uh,
legit.
yeah.
Mhm.
At Between the Brothers on YouTube is our handle. So yeah, that's fantastic. So this week has been absolutely insane. We have the elections still kind of going on. I mean, we kind of know how it's playing out, I think, for the most part. There's a couple unknowns, but that's crazy.
Arizona?
We also have Elon Musk with Twitter takeover and how that's kind of going craziness with everything that's happening. Crypto crash.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Again,
Yes. Oh, you see what Bitcoin's down to? You see what Bitcoin's down to?
Yeah.
Bitcoin's down
Oh,
to the teens of thousands. You see that
yeah,
shit?
I'm gonna say.
Teens of thousands.
It's not just that though. It's one of the major companies went under. Like they don't have enough liquidity to liquid their money or people's assets when they're trying to sell or something like that.
Damn.
And I'm sorry, I have this like terrible like cough and I'm trying to mute myself and not die here at the same time.
There you go, bud. They fucking damn. Which one went under? Holy shit. I mean, I was looking for the whole Bitcoin and cryptocurrency thing to crash eventually, but I don't think anybody saw it coming this quick.
Let me look into it. I'll have to look into it, but there's one of them that it just happened recently and they don't have enough liquidity. They thought they were going to be bought out by another finance company and that they pulled the plug on that. They're like, nope.
Damn.
I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm not sure if you've are mixing it with another story, Robinhood. So this sounds very, very similar to Robinhood. Robinhood is tits up because there was supposed to be somebody who come in and buy it and it was going to be a savior, save it. And yeah, they bailed on it, and that shit is down 20% in the last 24 hours. So I'm not sure if I know that the cryptos are down. Like I know Bitcoin's down like 17%. I know Ethereum is down, or ETH Classic is down 50%, and Ethereum is down like 23%. And all of this is like a 24-hour cycle. So I mean, we're right on the. So what we actually I mentioned it on Monday too, is Carvana is the first of the car bubble. So like we're on the edge. We are walking headlong into the next bubble, and this is on the back of what's his nuts. The guy who does the what's his nuts with the economy.
Does this thing with his nuts?
Rate. Yeah,
he
does
Fed?
a lot with his nuts. Yeah. What's his nuts? God damn it! Let me see. Interest rate guy. Let me just do a quick. Get his name.
I'm gonna say I know it's not the head of the Fed because that's
Chris Powell. Chris Powell outright said. So this is all on the back of Amazon let off like 18% of its workforce.
Well, Twitter just fired half of the workforce. Then you have all these tech companies dropping employees, not by the hundreds but by the thousands. Twitter laid off half of their workforce.
But what's
Meta,
funny about Twitter is they fired them and then they turned around and had to ask some of them to come back to work because it was a preemptive layoff that was going to happen. Twitter had planned anyways, and then when Musk took over, he's like, no, I need about half of those people here to do the things he was wanting to do with Twitter. So they turn around and be like, hey, sorry about that. Can you please come back to work?
Well, I think, I think a lot of the behind the scenes things, and I'm not like, I don't know. I mean, I can't really say because I'm not there, but I would imagine that like the company was sabotaged from the takeover. I mean, it was a hostile takeover from the get-go. I'm guaranteeing you every single senior leader in there that knew that they were going to leave probably did something to sabotage somehow.
Maybe
to the smallest effect, and then it just makes it look that much worse and makes it harder for Elon Musk to do out.
Because like you said, that crypto company where they were hoping somebody to buy them out and
FTX.
Essentially pull them out. Yeah,
FTX.
So okay.
Robinhood, FTX. So
that's originally what Twitter was looking forward to. Like when that whole thing first came out, like, oh great, if Musk buys us out, that's going to save the company, because they have, for some reason, in 2022, yet to figure out a way to monetize Twitter itself, to actually make consistent money from it over time. You know, because they ad space. How can you target ads to like what it's on Twitter? Like,
you know, I could talk about I could talk about this for a long time, but I think one of the things that a lot of people don't really take in consideration is what Elon Musk wants to make Twitter. Do you know what he's talking about? I think it's called WeChat or something like that in China. This app does everything. I know WeChat it has everything. It's like it's got like a Google Pay or Apple Pay type thing into it. It's got the chat. It's got it's got everything. So he wants to do that with Twitter, and I think he's going to be able to do that and much more, especially if he gets a lot of these younger influencers that have been successful. I mean, I know Mr. Beast reached out to him about Vine, and I think that he's going to try and re-enable Vine and things like that. And everybody's like, "Oh, I hope Elon fails." Elon fails, dude. Elon Musk is not going to fucking fail. Like he's not. No, I mean, he's not the guy that backs down from a challenge. He's not the guy that fucking bends over backwards and fucking cries to mommy because somebody's fucking picking on him. No, he's going to gather the troops and he's going to get this shit fucking done. Like, I don't see Twitter failing.
I think, what did we say was the guy? I don't know if it was on here or on the Between the Joes talked about, was the FCC was going after TikTok again. I was thinking, like, how ironic is that? The FCC bans TikTok in the United States, and then Elon Musk starts up Vine again on Twitter. Like, people have a way, you know, you go from one short form content to the other. They could really like blow up Vine and blow up Twitter.
Well, I mean, YouTube Shorts is already going to demolish TikTok. It's just a matter of time, unless TikTok changes their monetization policies and how they think. TikTok. I mean, TikTok's not going to just all of a sudden disappear overnight. But the moment YouTube Shorts becomes monetized fully and people and creators are like, holy shit, I'm making a heck of a lot more over here. The algorithm's working, and I get to watch YouTube and YouTube Shorts on the same platform, and I have ad free because of you buy the YouTube Premium, and like. I don't know. I really think it's got a high chance at being successful. I think Vine could really take some of that away as well, especially if it's done properly. Yeah. And I think if he works together with some of the content creators like Mr. Beast out there and a couple of the other ones that are really, really big and successful to really get their feedback, I think it could be a huge thing. But I think going back to the finance thing, FTX was going to be rescued by Binance. FTX was originally was valued at 32 billion earlier this year, and it's now completely in jeopardy of collapsing 100%. Like, you can't buy or sell on their thing right now. And this kind of goes back to like why, like, the whole reason why we had cryptocurrency was to remove the banks, remove the middleman between transactions. The threat of failure, and yet people bought in, like, were stupid. And I'm going to say it, like, you're stupid if you're using a crypto exchange to have your assets in, because there's no regulation on cryptocurrency in any country right now. So your money tied in,
these things are based.
Yeah, there's zero regulation on it. There's no protection. There's nothing. And cryptocurrency is like, there's nothing supporting it. There's no backing it. There's zero things that you can like say that this cryptocurrency is worth this, other than the supply and demand. And the problem is when your supply either like goes kahoot or your demand goes kahoot, it just drops or it raises extremely high. Like there's nothing there. There's no commodity there backing it. Where like if you're in the trade markets, the global markets, you have a company that has, that you can tell how good they're doing based on the reports. And I know some of that doesn't necessarily matter as much, but at least you have a company kind of backing it to a certain extent where you can kind of follow it.
Less
exactly,
mythical value thing.
Yes.
It's something that's like can be insured. So the way that I look at it is something that can be insured. Like these things have like the insurance policies and stuff like that. And cryptos are just it's ethereal. It's just you know what? Let's turn it off and it's gone. Like just poof.
Yep.
Now, I mean, not to say that I didn't make like a small fortune in 2020 off of cryptos whenever I was in Chicago, but like you got to play the game carefully. And some of these folks, like you said, they bought into it like it was real. They bought into it like it was going to be there like forever, like money is there forever.
Yeah.
And and they really probably shouldn't have.
Right.
Like, this stuff is
because my small dabbling with like stocks and all that stuff online was like, stay the fuck away from crypto. Unless you got money you're willing to lose, don't touch crypto.
Yeah, that's Bitcoin right now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Bitcoin.
Just fucking crashing hard.
Month.
Yeah.
The week is hilarious.
Well, I mean, the whole stock market looks like shit right now too. I mean, really, like, I mean, my assets in the stock market have dropped 50% or more over the last year alone.
You're talking about red. You talking about red? It was the red wave. It's the red wedding.
Yeah. There's no red wave here. It's just a red wedding from Game of Thrones. All right.
Yep.
That's all that's happening to the assets in the market, and the people who are making fucking the money are these fucking asshole senators and congressmen that are fucking trading behind. Dude, I don't fucking blame them because I would do it too. If I was in that position and I had insider trading, what are you gonna do a fucking slap on the wrist for insider trading? I mean, they're like it's not. It's not punished enough. Like it's a fucking fine.
There's a bill on the books, but it has no teeth to it. It's like $100 fine or some stupid shit.
Like but I mean, you just made fucking 100 million or fucking 10 million or whatever. Like it's a joke. It's like it's like a speeding ticket to a fucking millionaire or a billionaire is a joke. It's nothing. It means absolutely shit to them. Where it's like I think I was reading at one point. There's another country out there that doesn't give you a ticket based on a certain monetary amount. It's based on a percentage of either assets you own or yearly income or something like that, and that way it scales
Russia
up. So
does that.
Yeah, I mean that's like, it sounds absolutely absurd, but I mean at the same point in time, it's like if you want people to obey your laws, you would have,
Oh yeah.
Has to be punitive in nature. Has to be actually be punitive. Yeah. But you know what? My theory on tickets is I don't pay those either. Like. Go talk to the solicitor, do your beard, do your hair, and go talk to the 22-year-old solicitor and get that shit knocked out. The halo effect is real. Like you really got to embrace it. Just go hit on the solicitor and you're all right.
Man. I'm gonna say, I didn't even mention this. Lawyer. I got pulled over in my company work van last week. Because I did it. I'm guilty of it. I didn't deny it to the cop either when he rolled up on me. I had my damn work phone in my hand. Now, to be fair, I was doing company-related business, but the state of Georgia says you cannot drive and hold a phone.
Nope.
So when he pulled me over, I pull in the church parking lot. He pulls behind me, and he gets up there. And he was like, hey, you know why I pulled you over, man? And at first and stuff, I was like, no, officer. He's like, you had the phone. I was like, yep, that's what I thought. Okay. So then we got to talking. He had seen my tattoo, and we got to talking about some stuff, whatever. And he took my license, goes to the squad car, comes back. I'm like, great, I pay him my $25, $50 fine. He was like, well, since you've been really cool with me, he's like, I'm just going to give you a warning this time. He's like, but, just keep the phone down. Not when you're driving, just if you would. I'm like, yeah, no problem, man. Sweet. So I filled out with a warning, like, Woo! Because usually, like in those work vans, dude, you can freaking run over a fucking pedestrian and cops won't stop you because they know like the vehicle's insured because it's company owned. They know you're not don't have a warrant on you because they do background checks and license. They check the points. So they usually leave us alone.
You mean cops profile?
No, dude, no, never. They never do that, you know? Like, I mean, to be fair, like when I was an MP, I never liked writing fucking tickets. I fucking hated writing tickets because what a lot of people don't realize is that after you have the ticket, you have to put it there's a lot more other paperwork that you have to do with it. You have to put it into the system and all that jazz. I mean, at least our desk sergeant at the Fort Stewart like had to do all that shit for us, so it wasn't as bad. But like, there was times where like I remember. Do you remember? Were you there that night where that fucking sergeant major complained about the parking lot in his barracks, and there was like 100 cars parked illegally in his barracks area? And
I mean, I remember this. Parking is definitely a thing. I'm not sure if I'm remembering the.
We wrote like 100 something tickets that night between all the MPs, and they're all parking violations. You don't remember it?
I remember Rogers wrote. I remember he was writing them.
Yeah.
And
there's like 4 of us out there.
Maybe I just wasn't over there. Yeah.
I was like. I don't think it was a sergeant major. I think it was a first sergeant actually, and he was like, "Well, you guys have to take care of it." And I was like, "Do you realize what's gonna happen? Like, do you?
Yeah.
If I write all the, I was like, if I'm writing one ticket here, I'm writing every single vehicle a ticket here, and it's not going to be a good day for anybody. I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm like literally
fine. It's gonna go to the blotter."
Yeah. Like I was like, do you realize the process of these tickets? Because they're not monetary tickets. They're going to go to right back to you. You realize this, right? Yeah. Well, then I have ways to figure out who they are, right? And I'm like, I would just have a formation with all the soldiers out here right now and fucking and handle it in house. But I mean, if you really want me to, I mean, you can't force me to write the tickets, but I got nothing better to do. It's a fucking Thursday night. Like at fucking 2:00 in the morning. I don't give a shit. Like, and we just went out. I had 2 people go on the loudspeakers on the patrol cars driving through the barracks and saying, "Hey, move your car now or get a ticket. This is like your only warning." Like, and go through and like people were scrambling to get their cars moved and shit. But we still wrote like 100 fucking tickets that night. And then like their sergeant major wanted to talk to me specifically because I was a patrol supervisor and wondered why I wrote 100 tickets. And I was like, well, because your first sergeant complained about it. And I honestly, I had nothing better to do other than write the tickets because, I mean, it's a Thursday night. It's slow. It made my night go really, really quick, to be honest with you, Sergeant Major. I mean, you're the one who has to enforce them, not me. I don't have any control over it. Like you guys are the ones that are gonna like. He's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, it goes all it's gonna do is notify the commanding general, because after all these tickets go through, the commanding general is gonna see on the blotter report that there's 100 tickets written for parking violations, and they're gonna go straight to your battalion commander. Your battalion commander is gonna have to go down to company. Yeah, that's how it works. I mean, like absolutely no monetary value in it at all. It's just a huge waste of time for everybody. But you know, I had this guy like getting all upset about it, and he had no other way to handle it. And I was like, Sergeant Major, I gave your first sergeant an out. I was like, he could have just had every single person show up to a company formation and resolve it in house. Yeah. But he wanted this. This was his solution. Yeah. This is what he wanted. Like, I wasn't going to argue with him anymore because I had nothing better to do. Like, I'm doing my job. And so
one day we got to go find the information on this shit. Because have I talked about whenever I made that first sergeant walk? Have I ever talked about that?
The one that was that was drinking.
Trying to come in. No. This was like morning PT. Well, no, it was the 9 o'clock work call. It was like 8:30 something, and coming in the gate. I think it was like gate 5, whatever that back gate was, and they call us out there because he don't have a military ID. And I get there, I roll up, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? can I get your driver's license? He's like, you want to put some respect on that, specialist? I was like, all right, sir, can I have your driver's license? He's like, I'm a first sergeant. I was like, where's your military ID? Like, I don't know that.
You stamped your fucking rank and name on your forehead?
Yeah.
So he hands me stuff. He's got a salty attitude, but you know how you touch the car? Like you touch the car, like we're trained to. Like it's probably utter bullshit. They're never matching my fingerprints to anything, but whatever. Yeah. It's training. And I touch the car. He says, you ain't got to lean on it, soldier. I was like, huh. Yep. Sir, step out of the car. He's like, you gotta be fucking shit. Who's your first sergeant? You gotta be fucking shit. I was like, sir, calm down. Like, sir, you need to calm down. Obviously, his like I can see him fucking about to stroke the fuck out. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I need your first line supervisor to come down here to sponsor you onto the base. Real easy. I do this for everybody. It's the I hurt myself. It's the just the SOP. Be a first line supervisor, sponsor you on. You're good to go. He's like, you want the 4th Brigade Command Sergeant Major to come down here and sponsor me. I was like, well, I don't know who your first line is. I don't know who you are. Like, I have your driver's license, but other than that, I don't know. He's like, well, what if I just call him? I'm like, all right, cool. And calls, he calls him. I'm like, hey, all right, so let's verify this. And then I'm just doing bullshit like I don't give a fuck. I already have my plan. So I'm just doing this thing so I can act my plan. And my plan is, all right, first sergeant, you are good to go, but you can't drive the vehicle. He's like, what the fuck? Specialist? What? First sergeant. I'm like, first sergeant, if you call my first sergeant and you tell him you forgot your fucking military ID, an inspectable item, he will lose his mind. It is unacceptable for privates to forget their military ID. A first sergeant doing it, he's going to come unglued. So you are more than welcome, but you can walk. And he's like, just wait till I call. I'm like, have a nice day.
I would have been more passive aggressive about it. I feel like I would have been like, all right, first sergeant, I'll give you a ride to your location and check in with the commander and make sure your company commander verifies who you are. But I will be escorting you into the building and being like, hey, is there a captain such and such here? Because I have a somebody claiming to be a first sergeant that forgot his ID card. I need the company commander. We're wasting time. You know,
that's a good idea. That's a very good idea as well. Just rolling like somebody's claiming. I can't believe there would be a first sergeant who forgot their ID.
Yeah,
I think they just picked right because nobody would lack the military discipline to remember their shit.
I mean, privates should know that the ID card's an inspectable item. Like, what are you doing? Like,
oh boy, that's a good. That would have been a really good one too. I think that. But man, my claim to fame is definitely making that motherfucker walk, bitches. So I wonder if it was the same first sergeant who had this manhood challenged, who then had to take it out on all of his soldiers. I would bet.
Oh, probably. Like, oh man, there's so many crazy things in there, like with people like wanting to use their rank or grade to, you know, like they didn't listen to the NCO creed at all. And it's just like, dude, like, you know, I don't care that I'm just like a sergeant, you know, like, and you're a first sergeant. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm right now, like, I have the authority of the general, not trying to use that as like to be like, yo, bitch, you know, but like that's authority given to us by the commanding general of the post to execute authority. And I'm like, I'm not abusing my power. I'm just making like everybody is upheld to the same standard. It doesn't matter. I don't care whether you're an officer. I don't care if you're a non-commissioned officer. I don't care if you're a private. In fact, 99.9% of the time, I would let the privates off because they're fucking brand new in the Army. Yeah. If you were not if you were a sergeant or above, E5 or above, generally didn't get a warning for me, like, because you should have known at this point, like, to do better. And that's
so my theory was 5s and 6s we had conversations with.
Yes.
If they were like E4 and below, they were probably good to go. Like they were really asking.
If you're E4 and below, you're good to go.
Right, go with a rhyme. 5 and 6 is we had a conversation. If they were dicks, then they were getting hooked up, and then 7 and up, they were just. They were
most of the time the higher ups definitely didn't get the free pass. It was very rare that I let the higher ups get a free pass.
And there was 2 reasons for that. 1, they should know better. Actually, there's a few reasons. 1, they should know better. 2, for a fact they like that first sergeant. That first sergeant would have just hooked his fucking soldier up. Like he would have just fucking shit all over him. He would have been relentless. So that's the other one. 2, if you let them go, you put yourself in a sketchy situation where they then turn around, call and complain and say he's out here doing this, and they can throw any allegation on there, and you look guilty because you didn't do what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Like, if I rolled up and was like, "Give me your fucking shit," and then they got upset, and then I backed away and didn't write him anything, it makes me look guilty. So you have to hook them up at a certain rank.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. Because most of them were salty, and most of them, especially if they were officers, the officers were by far the worst. I can't tell you how many times being the patrol supervisor I'd get called out because I'd have a brand new private pulling over an officer, a major or something like that, and they would be like, "Oh, so a buck sergeant is a patrol supervisor," and I was like, "Yes, sir, I am the current patrol supervisor. Would you like to talk to the duty officer? I could get him out here if you'd rather talk to the duty officer, but guarantee you're not going to like it if he comes out, because I guarantee you it's pretty much going to be is maximum everything, and then he's probably going to write 1408s. He's going to be writing 1805s because he has that authority."
Yeah, he's going to be right. Yeah, he's going to be right. Bro, I was hooking people up with fucking money tickets. You remember whenever they were like, "Y'all need to stop doing that." Like if somebody was giving me a real hard time, I was hooking them up with real money tickets. Yep. Like not the post tickets that just go and you get.
Yeah.
And they're like, you got to stop doing that. I'm like, I really don't.
Technically it's our discretion, right? Like we can write the 1408s or 1805s. It doesn't matter. 99.9% of the time I'd write the 1408s just because unless they're a dick, and like
unless they're a dick. Yeah. Unless they're like, if the word's out of their mouth. I rolled up to a stop one time. They just and I was really doing them a favor because they blew a stop sign over there in front of the PX. You know how it did that little like split thing, and then it went down to a stop sign. They blew that stop sign and they pulled into a parking lot. And there was I was doing them a favor, and 2, I was doing myself a favor. Well, don't forget that. There was like a command group, like they had the entourage. There was probably a 1-star. Somebody else was rolling over there, and those kids were about to get fucking nuked. And I was going to get nuked because I didn't do anything about them just blowing that stop sign. So like, over there. And I'm like, yep. And I rolled up and they're like, "Fuck you." I'm like, why? Okay. Go whip out the 1408s. Here you go. One for you, one for you, one for you, one for you, one for you. And then that E7 coming over part of the entourage. I'm like, "You want one too?" He's like, "No, I'm just making sure everything's okay."
We're cool, bro. We're cool.
I got that book out, and I'm like ripping it, like you fold it over, roll it over, and rip that bitch off and throw it in there. Like, "Hey, who's
dude?"
next?
And like I would literally write a sworn statement after every single ticket, and I would, we had to a certain extent anyway. And that's the aspect, is every single ticket you'd had to have a sworn statement behind. And I would be the most articulate asshole on that. Like the who, what, when, where, why, how was like completely articulated on it. There's no way that any of my tickets that I wrote would be thrown out because I would literally be like, at this apparent time, at, off of this specific road, at the, this, traveling at this distance, whatever the case, I observed a blah, 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 like so detailed in every single thing, and be like, on approach, this person was very hostile, rude, and aggressive towards me. And, that kind of stuff. Like I would articulate everything from the fucking smell in the air.
Oh yeah.
to everything.
I had the light smell of alcoholic beverages.
Yeah. But at the same point in time, as much as I was an asshole to the people who were assholes to me, I was super fucking chill with probably 90% of the people I pulled over. If you're chill, like that's the thing is like if you're an asshole to a cop that pulls over and be like, oh fuck you, like dude, you're getting a ticket. It's guaranteed. Like,
oh yeah,
because you're on the officer's time now, and the officer's fucking working a long ass shift. He's gonna write you a ticket. If you're nice and fucking respectful and friendly, and you fucking make the officer laugh and have a good time, dude, that guy's probably not gonna write you a ticket unless it's forced upon him to.
Yeah, say point in case my fucking mobile phone in hand ticket I got when he was like, oh, since you've been real nice and cordial and stuff, he's like, I'm just gonna give you a warning and send you on your way. So it definitely benefits you not to be an asshole when you pulled over.
Were you there? Were you there when there was I don't know if it was a silent alarm at the? It was a class 6, I think it was. At Stewart.
It's ringing some bells.
And I mean, the fucking every silent alarm at every fucking shop happened at least once a shift. Like at least once a shift, especially at night, you'd have a silent alarm come off just because it was so sensitive. Somebody would accidentally bump into it, whatever the case is. Well, there is this one, and like it was at the class 6, and there's no parking around. It was just completely busy. The only parking spot there was in the motorcycle parking location. And most of the time, if it was a silent alarm, I wouldn't want to just pull up right in front of the building and just park with my lights on or shit like that. Like, I would try to park in a parking spot and walk up, because it just, like, I don't want to fucking make it known that I'm there if it's a fucking burglary in progress or whatever the case is. So like the only spot that's really relatively close within fucking 200 meters is this fucking motorcycle spot. And like, I parked in it. I was like, fuck it, dude. Like, this is an emergency. I feel like I could get away with this. And so I'm like, I pull in, and I obviously turned my lights off, got out of my car, locked it, blah, 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 said, show me on approach. And as I'm walking into the class 6, somebody fucking grabs my wrist as I walk by. And like, I'm sitting here scanning around trying to see if anybody's got a weapon, what's going on. And then, like, I'm not looking at necessarily who fucking like each person is, because there's so many fucking people. And there was a really tinted out, like illegally tinted out black SUV parked right in front of the shop at like class 6. Like it, and so like all of these red flags were showing, and there was nobody in that car, and it was still running. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Maybe this is something. And I was like, I even requested a backup unit at that moment. And as this guy grabbed me, like I reacted so quick. I just fucking slammed him into the ground so hard, face first, like gross, like his bag of shit went everywhere. And I had his hand behind his back, half handcuffing him. And like, before I realized who it was, and it was one of the civilian directors of the PMO.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And I was just like, well, I'm sorry about that, sir, but I have a silent alarm to get to. Next time, don't grab me. I'll be right back, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes. And I just continued in. And once I cleared it, I think I busted up his lip too. Like literally he got like a fat lip from it and shit. Like his tooth went into his lip and everything. Cause like, I didn't go like, I full forced this guy down, like, cause he grabbed my wrist, and I was like, hell no. Like, like, fuck no.
Oh man, if somebody grabbed me, bro, I would be unhinged.
Yeah, I went unhinged. It was just like, I just went full automatic, like to training style, and just I just put him down. And once I saw his face, I was like, well, this is going to be a shitty day. And I was like, well, sir, I'll get back to you in a few minutes. Let me go clear this. I have a silent alarm here. And he started saying something, but I just kept going, and like, had my hand on my gun walking in, like, worried about this fucking SUV. Walk up, and, obviously there's nothing going on here. Walk up to every teller, be like, hey, is everything good? They're like, yeah, why? And I'm like, because there's a silent alarm going off at your station. And she's like, oh no, I bumped it again. I'm like, well, gee, thanks. Now I'm about to go get my ass handed to me. Mm-hmm. I walked out, and the guy, he was like really chill about it too. He's like, you know what, Sergeant Hubbard, I apologize. I shouldn't have grabbed you like that. You did everything that you were trained to do. You reacted the way you did. I thought you were one of those fat, lazy MPs that just parked in the motorcycle parking so you can come get some fucking donuts or some shit. And I was about to fuck hem you up. And obviously now, and he's like, obviously I made a mistake. And I was like, sir, like I wouldn't park in the motorcycle parking just to fucking go in here. Like if I was hungry, I'd go to a different shop at. This place is too busy. And I was like, I got a silent alarm here and there's no other place to park. Like, and then I saw this black SUV, tinted out windows. Like, yeah.
Which shopette was it? Was it the shopette over there near like the MP barracks, or was it the shopette over in the 600, 700 building?
I don't think it was in one of the big like shopping mall areas. It wasn't. It was like the Class 6, I think. I can't remember exactly. It wasn't in the housing. It was kind of close to us.
Yeah, that Class 6, that little shopette over there near the ball fields.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
Yeah, I was always over there. I was always over there. Like whenever I was getting out and I was like retired on duty.
Yeah,
it was either there or I was out by the pond, or I was just not there. I was at somebody's house. Like putting somebody who's getting out of the army in like months on the road is a terrible idea. Like really just the worst. Dude. Like I gave no fuck. Like we gonna bitch at me about my uniform? Like some whatever. What are you doing? I'm leaving. Have a nice day.
When I was getting out, of the military, that same bullshit happened to me. They're like, hey, Sergeant Hubbard, you need to teach all these new privates how to fucking to work the road and shit. Like none of our guys know how to do it, and you're the experienced guy. I'm like, I'm getting out in 90 days. I'm like, if I get a case, I'm screwed. Like you're gonna screw me. I'm gonna be moving to North Carolina. Like I'm not coming. Like I'm not doing this. Like no. And he's like, well, you don't have a choice. That's your place of duty. And I'm like,
subpoena these nuts.
All right, Roger that. Roger that. You know what? I'll do it. But you're not gonna like it because I'm gonna teach these privates how to sham. Like you think these privates know how to sham? They don't. They will. And like I got there, and this was when I was at the Stryker Brigade. So we had to provide a certain number of MPs to help the road crew out while we were doing the training and stuff like that. And they were putting us all in the shitty locations. Like there's a staff sergeant there that was running the shift, and he was like being a complete douche because we're all Stryker Brigade. So he was trying to make us have like all of the shitty assignments. And I went up to him and I was like, I highly recommend you don't put me in a busy area, because if you do, you're going to regret it. And he's like, oh, you don't talk to me that way, Buck Sergeant. And I was like, I'm not sure how long you've been a staff sergeant for. I don't really give a shit. I'm out in 2 months. I really don't fucking care. I'm not doing the busy shit. And like, if you do, you're going to find out that you're going to hate it. I promise you, I will make your life miserable, because I used to be a patrol supervisor. I know how to sham. And I'm like, I was just straight up honest with him. And he's like, are you really Sergeant? You're just that way? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm out in fucking 60 days, bro. What the fuck am I going to do? You want me to be the first one on shift on call? Yes. So I go to a fucking scene where somebody gets like seriously hurt or injured, and I have to come back and fucking in 6 months for a trial. I'm like, no, that's stupid, dude. That's absolutely bogus. And I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Nuts.
And so he put me to the test. He put me in there, and he put me in one of the busiest locations. And I was just like, Central, this is, I don't remember what the call sign at Fort Lewis was, but I was like, this is such and such. I'm like, show me out at this location. Like, Roger, we told you to go to this location. We're like, Roger, our maps are just not updated. We just don't have the maps. And then like the staff sergeant was like, you need to call me right now. And I call him like, oh, well, you never gave us maps of the post. We don't have maps. Oh, don't you have Google Maps on your phone? Oh, my phone is not government property. I can't use my Google Maps for that. Like the government doesn't pay me to have my phone out there. And he's like, you're going to get an Article 15 for this. Nope. And I'm like, no, actually I won't, but you can try.
Okay.
And I was just like, and then after that, like they had a talk with our Sergeant First Class about it. And he sat down with me and he's like, are you serious? I'm like, I'm 100% serious. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm getting out, dude. Like, every single NCO that got out 60 days ago had literally their calendars cleared for 90 days to do whatever they wanted to do. To go look for jobs, to go chill, to be able to get all of their stuff done. I don't even have my equipment. I'm borrowing, like, all of my equipment's already turned into CIF. Well, you shouldn't have turned it in early. And I was like, I turned it in according to regulation of the Army and the Army standard.
Yeah. Was it like the TAPS, the something DTAP? Yeah.
And I'm like, according to Army regulation, program? I have done everything that I'm supposed to do during ETS. You are the one that's hindering me on ETSing and causing me issues. So I will show every single private here how to do their job, but I will not take a primary call on this. I will wait until another unit gets there and then I'll show up, because then I won't be primary. I'll be secondary. I'll still teach everybody how to do their job, but I will not take primary on it, because I will not take that risk of having to come back in 6 months for some stupid ass case because somebody did something stupid. It's not worth it.
Pull the case, a real case, not as bullshit, but a real case.
Yeah, and that's
me and Dale. They wouldn't let me and Dale do anything other than like, because we were. I don't want to say we were being dicks, but we were being like malicious compliance to the max.
Yeah,
like if it was, and then eventually they just had to like, y'all go away. And we would go to Dale's house and chill for like half the day, come back, and then show up and then leave again. Shit was fucking
I wish I fucking
confused. You wish what?
I wish I had like a better opportunity when I got out. Like I really wish that I wasn't so fucking harassed nonstop about stupid shit, like because they didn't properly plan, and it's just like I felt like there was so many other NCOs that were right before me that got out that had the 90 days of not having to show up to formation, not having to worry about this, not having to worry about that. And it's like, for me, like I just felt like I just got the fucking shitty end of that stick every second. I'm just like, I'm so glad I'm fucking getting out. I'm so glad. And I remember specifically, I was like, you know what? I am going to make it as fucking living hell for these guys. They got brand new fucking privates in 90 days before I got out. And they were running these privates to the ground to the point where like this guy would run fucking marathons like weekly. Like literally, if we didn't run 25 miles in a week, we would run extra miles the next week because we didn't run 25 miles that week. Like 5 miles a day, literally every fucking day. Even if it wasn't a fucking running day, it was a fucking running day. And so like all these privates are starting to fall out, and like he's sitting here yelling at him, and I'm like, you know what? I was like, I pull all the privates to the side. I'm like, listen, listen to me. I'm telling you something that I wish somebody fucking told me. Sit call is your fucking friend. Like, I'm not saying to be fucking malicious and fucking malinger, but I'm saying if you have pain, if you have a sprained ankle, if you have pain in your ankle, your knees, your hips, please go get looked at, because you don't know. Are you a doctor? Are you a trained medical professional? No, Sergeant. Okay. Well, then go get a trained medical professional to look at it, because that's what they're there for. And that's what's provided by the Army.
Man. No, that reminds me. Do you remember Hodges?
Yes.
Do you remember he's like, I have shoulder pain.
Yeah.
And like, I was a team leader, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, how bad is it? I don't know what you are feeling. Like because he was new to the Army, and like I'm in the position, in the relationship, like I knew how significant what I said mattered. I was like, how bad is it? He's like, I was like, I don't know what you're feeling. go get it looked at. And he had like all of the ligaments in his shoulder were torn.
Yeah.
His shoulder had separated.
Oof.
I was like, how the fuck did you do that? He's like, I don't know. I was like, whatever. Like, I was like, you got to go, because like, I'm going to go. I'm be like, hey, he's going to sick call. I don't know. I don't know what you're feeling. I don't know shit about shit. Like, but you know you. So you go find a real person who knows shit about shit. And yeah, they were sweating him over until he came back, and like it was torn, it was separated. He had like a hair, he had ligaments that were torn. I was like, how the fuck? Like, you could really tell me, because I don't give a shit. I'm getting out. But like, did you fall down the stairs? Did you like and grab yourself, or what? How did he's like, I don't know. I'm like, bro, you might want to look into sleepwalking. That shit's real too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, it's just crazy. Like, it was like, I think I made it better for a lot of people right before I left, but I fucking shammed out when I was an MP at that unit, dude. I remember one of the Halloween things that I had to show up to, or had to patrol during Halloween. I called myself out on a walking patrol, and I went through the fucking the haunted fucking forest that they had.
Yeah.
And I spent like 2.5 hours of the shift out there walking around through the thing, and like they're like, oh, hey, you want to go through? And I was like, well, we're just out here to, you know, be out here walking around. Like, oh yeah, you guys can come through. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. So we actually got front loaded through the actual Halloween thing and went through that, and fucking, then I went to the Air Force side and did theirs. Like all in one day. Oh man, good times.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Well,
so anyway, should we talk about football for, you know, at least a little bit of time?
We got.
We went back to the military side of shit.
We should just have a military channel, honestly, where we just talk bullshit. But
yeah. Military Mondays.
we do got to do one thing. Military. We motor pool Monday.
Yeah, we'll call it motor pool Monday.
Our signed us up for a pool where you pick the winners of each game. Whoever has the most correct picks wins the pot. It's like $350. Tiebreaker is whoever has the closest to correct points on Monday game. So, like, we look at each of the games for this weekend, we make our picks, and then how many points will be scored in the Monday game total between both teams, and if we win $350. It was $10 to enter, so
okay.
I'll expect a Venmo
of my $3.33.
That Venmo. So how do y'all guys want to do it? Do you just want me to name the team and we talk about it and we make a pick?
Sure.
Do we want to do like research?
I don't know.
Like, we could do some research. I figure the three of us could get pretty close. The tie last week, because the guy showed me the way that it works. The tie had two wrong. So he had all of them right except two. And two people did that, and it came down to the tiebreaker of the points. So the Thursday night game, Atlanta, Carolina. I'm going Atlanta.
That's like two. Man, that's going to be tough, because that's like two shit teams playing each other, which make for great football games, but it's hard to pick who's the least shitty of the two.
So the Panthers are 2-7 and the Falcons are 4-5. So if you just go
based on record alone,
of that, I would say Falcons. But let's where are they matched up before? Have they fought each other yet?
Yeah, they have.
And Falcons won by 3 points.
Yep. And Mariota had a good showing. So I did look at this game a pretty good bit, because I'm using Mariota as my quarterback, because he did well against Carolina, and my quarterback is just doing trash anyway. So
yeah. I don't know, man.
That's a hard call, to be honest with you. It's like what I'm looking at here is I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Falcons.
Yeah, I was just saying I would take the Falcons, probably like by a field goal. I would say.
Like it's hard to say because like I think the Panthers might want to try and upset them just because they're like rivals, but
yeah, but
and
you gotta have
they
talent.
Need a division win.
Like they can want to win because they're rivals, but it's just not there. At least not for the Panthers.
And the Falcons have to keep winning to stay in contention. Yeah. And the Bucks, they can't when we get to it, I don't think the Bucks are winning. So,
well, the Bucks are playing Seahawks this week.
Yeah, and when we get to that game, I'm going Seahawks.
Yeah,
but that will put Atlanta back in front if they win and the Bucks lose. So they really, really need a win.
Right. So yeah, I think Falcons have it. I'm gonna go with the Falcons.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Like I said, I think Falcons by like 3 points.
Yeah. Oh, I just tagged you in this, by the way. Did you get a notification?
All right. What's the next matchup?
Oh, Seahawks at Tampa Bay.
Oh, well, Seahawks.
Okay.
Yeah, by a long shot.
I mean, the Buccaneers seem to have been like trying to like come back on this, and this is where this is Brady's like make it or break it for the year. I mean, like if he could take down the Seahawks, then like people might have a little bit more faith restored in him. But Brady's not really the one that's playing bad. If you look in a lot of his passes, Brady's on point with a lot of his passes, a lot of his play calling, a lot of his stuff. It's just looking at all of his wide receivers dropping the ball. And I think Seahawks are going to capitalize on this because Buccaneers don't have a lot of good weapons, but the rookies for Seattle, especially in the secondaries, has been like they've picked up. I mean, they've done the job fantastic. We've gotten so many like takeaways, whether it's interceptions or forced fumbles. I honestly think Seahawks are going to get at least 2 takeaways from the Buccaneers, minimum.
Oh yeah, I think that the Tampa Bay's wins have come at the expense of probably not great teams. If we go and we look,
I'll look right now.
Their wins,
yeah.
So
they won. The Dolphins beat them by 2. That's a preseason. Sorry.
Yeah.
So they beat the Cowboys 19-3. Then they beat the Saints 20-10. The Packers beat the Buccaneers.
Not a good
team. Packers.
Yeah. They lost to a pretty bad team at this moment.
The Falcons beat the I'm sorry, the Buccaneers beat the Falcons. Okay. The Chiefs beat the Bucks. Steelers beat the Bucks. Yeah. Panthers beat the Bucks.
The Steelers, an awful team. So their wins have come against just bad teams.
They beat the Rams. Yeah. I mean, so their wins, you're right. Their wins have been from subpar teams. Mm-hmm. I think, if this matchup was earlier in the season and we had to pick now, I would have probably reversed my decision and I would have had the Bucks on top. Mm-hmm. But Geno Smith has been on fire, dude. He's making play calls that the offensive coordinator is making. And if you heard what Pete Carroll said earlier, is Geno Smith is actually playing off a wristband where Russell Wilson was giving him a hard time, supposedly, or resisting the armband plays, and he would make the play calls on his own. And now Geno Smith is actually trusting the offensive coordinator to do the right call and actually playing that call and not doing as much ad hoc. He does ad hocing when he absolutely needs it, but a majority of it's done by the offensive coordinator. They have trust in each other, and they're performing well. I mean, he's got so many weapons.
Winning streak, so.
They got so many weapons for Geno Smith. I mean, you got Lockett, you got Metcalf, you have all of our tight ends are catching and holding on to the ball and making plays. I can't tell you how many times that one of our tight end, whether it was Disley or Fant, would be coming in on third and long, and they'd come in and make a clutch catch right through the center and get a first down. Dude, it's not just them. Our running back is making catches. He's making runs. Dude, our offense looks fucking phenomenal this year, really. And our defense has actually picked up a lot too. So I really think we are actually in contention of going into not only even the postseason, but actually performing in the postseason as long as the rookies don't have the nerves get to them. So yeah, I really think that the Seahawks will overcome. I don't think the Buccaneers will do well.
Yeah. All right. I agree. I'm putting all this stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see here. So
what's next?
Have, next, Detroit at Chicago.
So I don't really know either of these teams.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, exactly.
So Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears.
What's his nuts?
2-6 versus 3-6.
The quarterback for the Chicago Bears is Justin Fields, I think. Am I remembering this correctly? Oh, my name's
that's right.
Screwy.
Yeah,
yep. And Justin Fields is starting to come alive, while Detroit is not.
Yeah, no.
Yes, and he has potential. Like he is, it's not there, and I think that Chicago is there. Like they're right on the edge of starting to play well. So
Lions. If we look at their games, the Lions beat the Packers. The Cowboys beat the Lions, and it wasn't even like close. It was 6 Lions to 24 in Cowboys. 27 Lions to 31 on Dolphins. 45 to 48 against that was that one game with the Seahawks where it was just fucking thrown out. No defense showed up to that game. And then when they went against the Patriots, they had 0 points.
Yeah. I will say too, if you look at the play style too, because I think the Bears are more rushing, like running offense anyways. And what is it? Detroit is like way back in the league in defense against like the run. Like they have one of like if not the worst defense in the league against the run. So that right there, to me at least, says the Bears stand a more than likely chance of winning that competition.
Right. So the Bears beat the 49ers in the first game, 19-10. Then they lost to the Packers, 10-27. Then they beat the Texans by 3 points, 23-20. Lost to the Giants, 12-20. Lost to the Vikings, 22-29. And then lost to the Commanders 12-7, and then Patriots they beat 33-14. I would say that I think the Bears probably will win over the Lions just based on the Lions did absolutely poop against the Patriots 0-29, and the Bears did the opposite to the Patriots 33-14. I know that doesn't necessarily mean a lot, but when your defense is shut down in an offense that's going through, but then the Bears are completely opposite. Like I don't know. If you're able to tear apart a defense that held a team to 0, I'm gonna go with that one.
All right.
Yep, I agree with that.
That would be my pick.
Bears. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a Bears win on Sunday.
All right. Got it marked. Next is Cleveland versus Miami. Cleveland at Miami.
Isn't Miami one of the stadiums that's loud?
So I'll give you my thoughts on Miami. Miami with Tua is undefeated. So their losses came with their backup quarterback, and Tua has been playing very well. Indiana, I think, is still on their backup quarterback. I'm not sure if Matt Ryan is still out for this game, but If he is, they're on the backup quarterback. If not, they're in a must-win game, and Matt Ryan is trash. So,
okay, so who's the teams again? We're talking about.
I'll say, is this Cleveland and Miami, or
sorry, Cleveland and Miami.
I
Sorry.
would say, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Browns. I was like, wait a second, hold on. Like, am I missing something?
I'm actually
Jacoby Brissett is a quarterback for the Browns. I've never heard of him before.
Yeah. There's a reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna go say the Dolphins probably have that one down.
I'm gonna say the Tua factor alone, it's gonna be a Dolphins win.
Yeah, I'm thinking Dolphins all the way.
Because the Browns are 3-5, Dolphins are 6-3. Let's see. Exactly. Have they fought each other yet before this season? No.
Let's say
they have not.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Right.
I'm up to date. Now I'm not distracted. Okay. So Cleveland, what's Cleveland's overall rating? What's Cleveland right now?
What is it? Where is it at?
We can close Jerome Powell.
Yeah, I just scrolled through and clicked on something. Give me a second. So the Cleveland Browns are 3-5. Miami Dolphins are 6-3. And the Browns are missing 3 starters at Wednesday practice before the Dolphins game.
So yeah. And only the Steelers are only doing worse than them in their division.
Okay, so who's next? Yeah.
All right, so we're going with Miami, Denver, and Tennessee. I'm going Tennessee
too. I mean, who even plays for Denver, bro?
Wait, who's it?
Denver and Tennessee. The Broncos and Titans.
Okay. Yep. So Broncos are 3-5 and Tennessee Titans are 5-3.
And they're at home.
Yeah.
I think what's funny is I think Russell Wilson kind of took what Pete Carroll said about the wristband thing. And if you look, his last game that he won, Russell Wilson was literally using a wristband about plays, and he won. So,
see, if we go back to
maybe Pete had a good idea.
Miami, if we go back to the Cleveland Miami, okay, so they're rated. Cleveland is rated above Miami in overall offense. Miami has more yards.
Does that take into consideration of those 2 games of not having Tua?
Now that's true. That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
It does. So this is overall for the 2022 season so far. Let's go look at the defense real quick. So Cleveland's defense is rated, I think, pretty significantly above Miami.
Yeah, I have them in the fantasy league. They're actually pretty good defense. They've scored me some real points. So,
all right, and then let's look at turnover. Look at the turnover game. Where are we at? Oh, Cleveland is way down at the bottom.
Yeah, Browns are like second to last. Like Steelers are below them in their division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so are we sticking with Miami? I'm gonna stick with Miami.
I think Miami is.
Miami.
I mean, you can always have the upset, but I just.
Yeah, I don't see it.
And they're at Miami, so.
Yeah, it's a home game, so.
Yeah. All points lead to all roads lead to Miami.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Miami Stadium is actually one of the louder ones out there too.
And they have this really clever thing where the guest is in the sun.
Well, that's typical for most, actually.
Not. Mm-hmm. yeah, that's for most places.
Yeah,
but it was like a 40 or 50 degree difference last time. It was like 120 degrees the last time I seen the news about it.
And they didn't use the fans, and you can't use fans unless the other team uses it. So if the home team aren't using fans, the away team can't. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Roasting and stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right. Denver and Tennessee. Back to Denver, Tennessee. Back to Russell. Oh, go
right.
Russell. I don't like Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him. I'm just saying that, like, we have to take that in consideration, though. Is like he's he's now in a completely different area that he's ever been in before. He's busting his ass to try, well, supposedly, to get better. He's got a lot to prove. If he loses the rest of this season, like, dude, he's going to be, he's set for life anyway, but he's going to be tossed under and fucking, his career is gone. Like, there's no coming back from that. Like, so he's got a lot to prove. But again, I don't think there's a lot of teamwork on his team right now with him.
No, I think that he has alienated his team, and he is a tool, and nobody likes him. But if we look at Tennessee Titans have the least amount of total yards on offense at 2,228 this season, and the Russell Wilson and the Broncos are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from last place. So what, 27th worst, 23rd? I mean, how math? 23rd worst in the league. 2,631 yards. Not that big a difference. And so let's go over to defense. We can look at our defense rating. So the Titans. My internet has a heart attack. So the Titans, what?
So the first game of the season, the Giants beat the Titans by 1 point, 21-20. The second game was Tennessee Titans had 7 points, Buffalo Bills 41. Raiders in the next game, 22-24. Titans win by 2 points. The next game, Titans win 24-17 against the Colts. The following game is Titans versus the Commanders, 21-17. And then again, the Colts, 10-19 Titans. And then Titans beat the Texans 17-10. And then the Chiefs beat the Titans by 3 points, 17-20. So most of the games that they've won have been less than or at a touchdown away, 1 point away.
And they're
one score game, I should say, not 1 point, but one score.
Yeah.
Man, these are just bad teams, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's all I'm like. Fucking Titans. I don't know what the Titans have done this year.
And the Broncos.
What are the Broncos are worst in the league for passing, for a passing defense. No, correction. Best in the league for passing defense, for the least amount of yards allowed. So a weak offense going against a strong defense. But then again, they might have played just trash teams. They can't do that much.
Well, the Broncos lost to the Seahawks 16-17, then won against the Texans 9-16, and then beat the 49ers 11-10. Lost to the Raiders 23-32. The Colts beat them 12-9. The Chargers beat them by 19-16, and then the Jets beat them 16-9. So, and then the last game was against the Jaguars, which they won 21-17.
God, if you lose to the Jets, you might as well just hang it up. Like, what's the point anymore?
So my vote, they're going to Tennessee, though. Do we care about that? I don't think so. Does Tennessee have a lot of people turn out? How many people turned out for the last game? All 17 of them going to blow the roof off?
Right. I don't think Tennessee is one of the loud stadiums. I don't think that's going to be an issue.
No.
It's hard. That one's a hard one to say. I think there's a lot riding on this game for Russell Wilson to keep his winning high, but like at the same point in time, I don't think it really truly matters, because at the end of the day, I mean, they're going to be going against teams that have just demolished them, so on and so forth. So it's going to be hard to say.
Yeah, Tennessee is 18.
I'm gonna say if I had to pick one, I would just say Titans. Like that's just Titans? A fucking guess. That's just a random guess.
All right.
That's just a guess. What are you going with, Hex?
You don't want my guess.
Where are you going? Broncos? All right, I'm leaning Broncos just because those games were tight. Okay. All right, so we got a split here.
Flip a coin.
I'm going to put in a split.
No, we can put it in split, and then we can do a little bit more research if we want.
Mm-hmm.
Can I take a 5? Not even a 5, like a 3 minutes. I gotta go get my medicine. Be right back.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Yeah. I said that's just like I said. I like football. I don't like football that much to know how good or bad the fucking Broncos or the Titans are. Like, yeah. I'm just random guess out of the ether. Is Tennessee looks good to me.
Tennessee looks good to me.
I mean, I think. Yep, exactly. And I think Vegas has Tennessee on top by. What is that? 4. So they have them on top by like a field goal, essentially. So.
Vegas has Tennessee on top. Mm-hmm. Oh, we could do the spreads. Yeah. What's the spread? -4?
-3.
-3.
So -3. Yeah. I mean, like, somebody asked me who I think is going to win. I don't know. I'm like, let me go to Vegas because they fuck with money, so they're going to be on their shit. They're going to be on their research. So,
yeah, now I'm really, really interested in why they are leaning. When is it a field goal? Exactly. Is that just the hometown advantage?
Maybe.
Is that just because they're at home?
I don't know. I don't either. I don't know if people show out for like I said, like a Titans game. Like my mom lives in Tennessee, and I've been there several times. I've had family live there for years. I don't think I've ever seen a Titans bumper sticker in Tennessee. I don't ever think I've seen a Titans vanity tag. It's all UT or fucking Vanderbilt. I've never seen a Titans anything, in Tennessee. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, poor old Tennessee.
It's one of those ones of how they
got
because they ran through some teams, man. They used to be like, oh yeah. And they've got who? Tannehill's their quarterback.
Yeah.
Good or bad, whatever that means. Like, I don't know. I haven't paid attention to his season at all either. So,
all right. That's why I go to this. I go to NFL stats and just like see, like it's a good rolling average, and we're just taking our general knowledge about it. So Vegas has Tennessee on top by a field goal.
Yep.
So are we taking the line on Vegas?
Hard to say.
I say we go for it. That way we can flex on it.
There you go.
I think you are right about he has to perform. The way he has alienated this team, the way this is going, he has to perform.
Yeah.
And then if he can't work with other people on his team, that's going to be bad too. When say Denver looks to get rid of him, other teams aren't going to want him because if he's not going to play ball, then what are you going to pay for the name recognition? Like,
well,
do you see how well that worked for Fuck's his face who played for the Browns, Johnny Football? Like the Browns got him for name recognition to get asses in seats, and then he wound up being just a fucking disaster for the organization. So,
and
owners don't forget those lessons.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be a Russell Wilson fanboy when he was in Seattle because he was doing. He was really good at passing, but he always sucked in red zone. If he can get long passes and long plays, and the offensive coordinator can let him make these passes down the field land, and he can get the running back to run it in for a touchdown at the end, I mean, they're solid. But the problem is they're trying to do passing plays in the red zone, and they're failing and going, 1, 2, 3 and out, and then their kicker's missing field goals. I I don't know. I still think I still think Russell Wilson will try to make something happen because I think he really does enjoy football, and I think he's coming to the realization that like he won't be playing football much longer. It doesn't matter if he's made millions or not. He won't be playing football much if he keeps performing the way he does. I think everything's on the line for him at this point. So I really think he might prevail against them just to have a comeback. He's trying new things. I've never seen that guy put a fucking wristband on, and he put one on and he won. So,
and if he swallowed his pride a little bit, that would help him a lot.
Yep.
So, okay. Moving on, Minnesota at Buffalo. I'm going Buffalo all the way.
Oh yeah,
I think Buffalo is going to just throttle Minnesota. I think coming off of last week, Buffalo is going to throttle Minnesota. And we can we can look through all the stats.
7-1 versus 6-2.
Yeah, right.
I don't really watch either of these teams, so I really couldn't tell you other than
Buffalo.
Well, Buffalo's been running fucking crazy with the league. They've been racking up wins and kicking ass and taking names. Like they're beating opponents by like double-digit margins. Like,
and they're beating good opponents. Look at Minnesota.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
if you can pull Minnesota's schedule and look at their teams versus like the Buffalo's schedule and look at their teams. And Buffalo is allowing 14.8 points a game, and Minnesota is allowing somewhere in here.
Oh, Buffalo Bills for sure. 100%. Josh Allen. He's my guy.
Yeah. So we're going.
I knew Hex
unanimous
on
that one?
on the Josh Allen train. Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah. And after last week, they're going savagery.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Next, we have Houston at the Giants.
God. Another couple of shitty teams.
Right. I mean, the Giants are, what are they, 6-2?
That is the worst 6-2 team I've ever seen.
Well, I'm going with New York Giants on this one because Houston Texans are 1-6. Okay, I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give them. No, they're going to beat this trash team, but there's like a very, very distinct possibility that they can lose it because they are a very horrible team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like November 6th. So I'll go back to the Bills. This is what I was trying to pull up. The Bills lost to the Jets 17-20. Yeah. I think they're going to come out next week furious. So I'm going, Josh Allen will be very upset. They have a good team to redeem themselves against. So that's why
he'll be very focused this Sunday.
Oh, we have to take in consideration that Josh Allen's questionable.
This is because he didn't practice. I don't think he's got an injury.
Right elbow injury.
Oh.
Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen is day-to-day with a right elbow injury, according to Coach Sean McDermott, and he did not practice Wednesday. He's dealing with a right elbow injury to the ulnar collateral ligament and related nerves.
Okay. The right ulnar. I don't know what that is.
A UCL tear occurs with overuse and wear and tear on the ligaments in the elbow and is most commonly associated with baseball pitchers and other athletes who perform frequent overarm movement. UCL injuries can range from complete tears to less severe damage, such as inflammation.
All right.
Recovery can take 9 months to a year or longer. You'll wear a hinge brace to slowly increase your range of motion. Okay.
All right. Well, Vegas has Buffalo. And where they're
by a pretty good margin. I think they're playing at.
And Minnesota is going to Buffalo.
Yep, they're playing in Buffalo, so yeah. I don't know. I got a sneaking suspicion that the Bills are going to put that one away.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Buffalo.
Yeah.
Now, if Josh Allen doesn't play, but we got to submit these. I got to submit these tonight. So
yeah,
we won't get Thursday or Friday practice to know.
So this is where my only concern comes in. When you have an injury and you play on it, you try to man up and you try to fucking play on it. But I've never seen one single fucking superstar fucking play on an injury and actually play fantastic.
Oh, well, that's just
Right.
that's just.
And when your
how much
throwing
sport
arms
have you
fucked
watched?
up.
yeah.
There was hold on. There was a pitcher for the Atlanta Braves who pitched a playoff game with a broken leg, a broken ankle.
Right.
A couple have pitched through like torn Tommy John's. Hell, there's a guy who don't even have a Tommy John's ligament.
Yeah.
So it's there.
Let's go with it. Fuck it.
And
we have the tools.
Oh, chill out, ESPN. I didn't
Home
fucking want you
Depot's
to play
got the
fucking at
tools.
Home Depot bullshit.
Shit.
now we just got copyright fucking bitch smacked right there.
That's right.
Home Depot.
We just got nuked.
Fucking ESPN article that was Josh Allen injury, and it's like all of a sudden just randomly starts playing an ad by itself. You son of a.
God damn it. So next one is Houston at Giants.
Yep.
Right, yeah, we'll go with Giants just because.
Yep.
As much as I
Giants,
hate
yep.
it. Any dissenters?
No.
Nope, I'm down with
All
it.
right. Jacksonville's going to Kansas City.
I'm
What are the
gonna
odds
say
on that
Chiefs. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
I'm going
Chiefs
Chiefs on that
all day, every day.
one? What is Jacksonville's
That's an easy
record?
one. Fucking shit and shit.
6-2
points.
Chiefs, 3-6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
So
No dissenters
that
on
puts
that
that
one.
one away.
No.
Nope.
New Orleans at Pittsburgh. This one this one is one of the ones that when I was looking through, I was like, fuck.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's who is the shittier team ones are the ones that kill me. Like
Exactly. I know. Yeah. Like I said, it makes for great football games, but it's just you don't know who's gonna happen to just trip over themselves and win. Like,
right? Who's going to accidentally win? Man, I am leaning towards New Orleans on this one because the division they're in is weak. If they string together a good run, they're in it. But what's Pittsburgh's schedule? What is
Wait,
Let's go
who
through
we
the-
who we
Pittsburgh
voting
had
for
a-
now?
so this is
that
New
said,
Orleans
yeah, we're
versus
just going over
at
the Saints and Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Wait. Are you sure you got that right?
Yeah.
Pretty
New
sure.
Orleans Saints at Pittsburgh Steelers. That's what I'm looking at here on the schedule.
Wow, what are you looking at? Thanks.
Okay, I see it. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong one.
Ooh.
I don't know how. Like it
And
was
so-
weird. I was
Yeah.
clicking on the Rams and Saints for some reason. It wasn't showing the.
Oh. Yeah, so New
But-
Orleans.
Steelers had a bye week, and the Saints have had a short week. So I guess they must have played Monday Night Football or something.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, they're not going to have the rest the Steelers have had. The Steelers have had 2 weeks off, so essentially,
Oh, that's so bad. That's so rough.
yeah.
What's the Pittsburgh schedule look like?
So the Steelers have played the Bengals and they won by 3 points. They lost to the Patriots by 3 points. They lost to the Browns by 12 points. They lost to the Jets by 4 points. They lost to the Bills by 35 points.
Waffle Stop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They beat the Buccaneers by
They
2
beat the
points.
Bucs, yep.
Lost to the Dolphins by 6. Lost to the Eagles by fucking 20, 22. Yeah.
And lost to the Saints would only make sense in this. like pattern recognition. Okay. Now let's look at the Saints schedule.
Okay, Saints beat the Falcons by 1 point, 27-26. Buccaneers lost by 10 points. Lost to the Panthers by 8 points. Lost to the Vikings by 3. Beat the Seahawks by 5 points. Lost to the Bengals by 4.
That's gotta hurt.
Lost.
They lost to the Cardinals by 8. They completely shit stomped the Raiders 24-0. And then the Ravens beat them 27-13.
All right, I'm going Saints. So far, everything I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
Saints.
I agree.
So let's go offense. Now we'll do offense overall rating. We've been at it for a minute.
Okay, we're back
minutes.
live. I don't know. The internet connection just got finicky. It might just be because of the.
Okay.
Who knows?
All right, and then.
Right.
And these are just intrinsically bad teams, and I think Pittsburgh is the worst so far. And then we can look at attendance. Yeah. Let's see, what do we got here? Because where are they playing? They're playing at Pittsburgh.
At Pittsburgh, yeah. So they're going to pack the stands anyways. Pittsburgh fans are diehard whether the Steelers suck or are good.
Yeah, they got to kind of commit. Yeah.
Right.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers have a 406 to 240-10 record in regular season and playoffs at home at all time. So it's basically 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what day is this game happening at? Is it a Monday?
Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep. Sunday afternoon game.
Okay. I was like, when was the last time the Steelers lost at home on Monday night? October 14, 1991.
Damn.
Oh, that's right. I know that stat. Do they play do they have a Monday game this year? I hope somebody fucks that up.
Me too.
All right. Next up is Indiana versus Indiana at
Here we go.
the Las Vegas Raiders.
This is the one Joseph was already pre-excited for. He got a little ahead of himself. So excited to talk about Indiana.
Okay, so Indiana.
Oh, so Vegas has Las Vegas on top. Didn't expect that. Wonder what their schedules look like.
So 3-5-1 for the Colts versus 2-6 for the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. And apparently the Colts interim coach starts on Sunday. That's his first game. So
oh no.
So the Colts tied the Texans in the first game 20-20. The Colts got shut out against the Jaguars 0-24. They beat the Chiefs by 3 points 17-20. They lost to the Titans 24-17. Beat the Broncos 12-9. Then they came back on the next time they fought the Jaguars and beat them 34-27. And then the Titans took them out 19-10. They lost to the Commanders by 1 point, and then they lost to the Patriots by 23 points.
So all roads point to L. But
is that the Colts or the?
That's the Colts.
Yeah.
The Raiders. Let's see let's see what their thing is. They lost to the Jaguars by 7 points. Oh, sorry. Let's go back to the beginning. They beat the Patriots 23-6. They lost to the Chargers 19-24. They lost to the Cardinals 29-23. They lost to the Titans 22-24. They beat the Broncos 23-32. They lost to the Chiefs by 1 point, 29-30. They
Texans.
Raiders won against the Texans 38-20. Then they got the shutout against the Saints 0-24. And then Raiders to Jaguars 20-27. Jaguars win. So yeah, I mean they're not the great teams, but I would say that the Raiders have lost less games by a greater by less margin. Like their games have been closer. They've been in with 1 point minus one game
against, and I say and I agree with that, against good teams. The only thing that stands out is it goes close. Actually beat the Dolphins. Well, that's preseason. Close against the Chargers, close against the Raiders. Well, I mean, touchdown. Close against the Titans, 2 points. Close to the Chiefs. That's a pretty big deal. Not close to the Texans. Okay, so, and this is where it turns. Close to the Chiefs, and then it's a pretty wide margin of defeat, an enormous margin of defeat. Touchdown, which is kind of close, and then here. So if I feel like they're trending down, is my perception of this point trend. But like you said, they were very close games against good teams.
Right.
Whereas
the Colts were just poopy.
Yeah, all around.
Just bad. Like the Colts and the Broncos, that was just a bad game. Colts over the Jaguars. Titans, that's a two-score lead. The Commanders, it was close against the Commanders. Okay, and then complete ineptitude against the Patriots, like 3 points. So yeah, I'm inclined to go Raiders on this.
Yep.
And then we'll go. My only concern is the new head coach.
Well, that's the Colts.
And yeah. So what did I just say? I just said a lot. And now I'm confused with what I said.
I don't think the new head coach is going to do I think that's going to also cause a lot of issues with the Colts. I don't think having a new head coach come in midseason is I mean he might fire everybody up and get everybody motivated and stuff, but to change their game plan up completely and in a short time is going to be very difficult. Yeah. I feel bad for that fucking guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, interim head coaches, but there's the Dan Quinn effect where he came in and they went to the Super Bowl.
Well, right. If you have a toxic coach that's fucking yelling at players because you're not performing, but you are performing, and it's just unfortunate events or whatever. It's hit or miss. Right. It's definitely one of those things that it's hard to say. I don't watch their games. I don't know the coach, so I can't really comment on how much that's going to perceive if you've seen them. And yeah.
Yeah, I feel good with Raiders on that one.
Apparently, the Colts owner wanted control of his franchise back, and that's why he fired the coach. That's what I'm reading on an article from SB Nation.
So, front office political bullshit. So yeah, the Colts are probably in shambles over that too.
Yeah,
if the
and all of a sudden,
fighting with the coach,
without notice, all of a sudden your head coach is fired, and you get a new interim coach. It's going to be chaos. I mean, it's going to be hard to motivate from that. The only way you come back from that is if you have a coach that was just being a douchebag to you the whole time, and you're happy that he's gone, and you get a new one, and then you're working twice as hard. But it doesn't seem like that's the way why this happened.
All right, I agree. And I went. So while y'all were looking that up, overall offense, Indiana Colts scored an average of 14.7 points per game. That's terrible. It's last. It's dead last. It's not just terrible. It's dead fucking last. And their Raiders have scored 22.9 points a game, which is about middle of the pack. And then
I'm saying the Colts are even worse on the road.
Yeah. Okay.
They're 9 points per game. Their road is even worse. Yeah. Yeah, they average 9 points per game on the road. So
All right. Completely in agreement on that. I think we're unanimous on the Raiders winning that.
Yep.
All right. Next is Arizona at the Los Angeles Rams.
Oof.
That's another one, bro.
Right. Why can't it just be overwhelmingly good teams against overwhelmingly bad teams?
Exactly. Yeah, right.
It would just be a 15-way tie.
So Cardinals are 3-6 and the Rams are 3-5.
So yeah.
God damn. All right.
It's which one happens to pull the victory out of jaws to defeat, pretty much. Like,
dude, the Cardinals were dropping. So I watched the last game against the Seahawks, and Kyle Murray, like, he can scramble. If you get him out of the pocket, that guy can run, and he's freaking quick, like super freaking quick. His passing is subpar. I mean, like, it's okay, but definitely not. Like his accuracy needs assistance. He's quick on his feet. He can scramble. He can do short passes, but a lot of his receivers were struggling holding on to the ball. There was a couple times where if they could have won that game if they held the ball. The other issue that the Cardinals have that completely screwed their game up was penalties. They get a lot of offsides. They get a lot of false starts. They get a lot of holding. I mean, just in the last game against the Seahawks, I mean, like, they killed their own game. They destroyed every single one of their good drives. They had so many yards on us, but their score wasn't on top of that because it's just simply how many penalty yards they accumulated was insane. It was 3 times, I think, the amount that the Seahawks did for penalties. And Seahawks are usually the highest penalized team in the fucking NFL. So, yeah, I would say, I kind of want to say the Rams have this one.
Yeah,
I'm inclined to go with that. Rams have 13 turnovers. Where are the Cardinals?
The Rams beat the Cardinals earlier in the season, 20-12.
And the Rams have already beat them. All right, that's good. And then they're playing at where they're playing. They're playing at the Rams. Oh, that's even better. So let's look at the
Rams.
And then we'll take a look. Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles. All right, which Los Angeles team am I looking at? NFL.com. Yeah, dumb fucks. There's 2 teams in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm going to say, you got your choice of the Rams or the Chargers. What do you have?
Okay. Either way.
So in the game, their game against the Rams versus Cardinals earlier on, Stafford had 18 completions out of 25 attempts for 249 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The Cardinals, Kyle Murray had 37 completions and 58 attempts for 314 yards, but again, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
0 interceptions. Interesting.
And so this is the whole thing, is like Kyle Murray is getting more yards in the games, like between running. So like, let's see here. James Conner had 13 carries for 39 yards against the Rams. Kyle Murray had 2 carries for 8 yards, so he didn't really run that much that game. But he also had so the Cardinals also had Marquise Brown during that time, and he's out with injury. And so one of their biggest receivers is no longer playing, and that's why they're starting to lose a lot of games too. Is like Kyle Murray with Marquise Brown was on point. I remember because I used to have him. I still have him on my team, but he's on my IR right now. But I don't think he's coming back for the rest of the season. So I should just drop him. But but the Rams have Cooper Kupp, Cam Akers.
Yeah. I'm feeling this one, Rams. And the Las Vegas line has the Rams as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the thing that really seals it for me is the Cardinals in the last 3 straight games have allowed 30 or more points against opponents. So,
yeah,
that's pretty significant as well. With Cup, oh man, I hope my fantasy league don't got Cup. Who am I playing?
Oh, that's a good point. That's gonna be a really good fucking game for me. I think I got. Who am I facing?
Me,
the
bro.
Pounders. I'm sorry.
Right. You ready to get pounded, bro?
You ain't get. The only way I'm getting pounded is if fucking Josh Allen gets fucking pulled out of the game and doesn't perform. But you got Cooper Kupp, who's just getting. Cooper Kupp's getting 70 points.
I might be
50
Vikings
points
fan this week. Come on, defense.
Let's go. All right, next game up is Dallas at Green Bay.
Oh God.
Ooh.
Yeah.
My
off the rip feel for my off the rip intuition. I have the Cowboys.
Well, the Cowboys are 6-2.
Yeah.
The Packers are 3-6. Aaron Rodgers again. This is kind of goes back to what Brady's facing. Is Green Bay has no receivers that are holding to the balls. I'm watching like a lot of the TikTok replays on it and watching like the ball being thrown right at their receiver. It's like literally like right in their chest. They're catching it and it's just like, oh God, oh no. Oh.
There's a helmet counter for Aaron Rodgers now. There's a helmet counter for balls that hit receivers' helmets.
Yeah.
Like it has become a meme. So my concern is all of a sudden they decide to start fucking doing what they're paid millions of dollars to do and catch that shit. They'll be unstoppable. Like that's man. So but now we're hypothetically them pulling their shit together. Vegas has the Cowboys by 5 points, kind of pretty significant.
Yep.
And then we can go over here. What are we in? We are in turnovers. Dallas has 7. Whew, that's more than I thought. But Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have twice as many. That's
dude, I don't know about this, man. Like the Cowboys are losing against teams that are just not good. Like they're
that's
like
the thing.
So like look at this. Like so okay, so the Buccaneers 19-3 won. The Buccaneers beat them 19-3. They beat the Bengals by 3 points, 20-17.
Yeah.
Cowboys versus the Giants 23-16. They beat the Commanders 25-10. They beat the Rams 22-10. Eagles won 26-17. Cowboys beat the Lions 24-6, and then the Cowboys beat the Bears 49-29. I don't know, like
and they're on the road.
Might as well flip a
What's
coin.
the weather? That's a big. What's the weather in Green Bay this weekend?
37 degrees, high, 22 cold, sunny, cloudy.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
The Packers lost to the Vikings 7-23. Packers beat the Bears 27-10. Packers beat the Buccaneers 14-12. Packers beat the Patriots 27-24. Lost to the Giants 27-22. Lost to the Jets 27-10. Lost to the Commanders 21-23. Lost to the Bills 17-27. Lost to the Lions 9-15. Most of their games against good teams have been like 1 score games.
Mm-hmm.
Except the Jets, where it was a 17-point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
going to go for Packers on
Cowboys.
this one.
You going Packers?
Yeah.
All right. Joe, what's your choice?
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling shit. Hell, I kind of go with what you know. I'm going to go with the Packers.
Going with the Packers? All right.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers pulls it out of his ass this week. Who knows?
I mean, I could be wrong there. I mean, I'm not necessarily. Don't just go. You know, we need to have like a little flashcard and like and show it. Like flip your flashcard so you can't change your answer.
Right.
Don't let me influence you.
No, man. I'm just going. Like I said, I don't know either. The only Green Bay game I saw was them and play the Giants earlier this season in the game in England, and fucking one receiver after the other dropping balls. Rodgers hitting them square in the freaking dome with a ball, and it's just a shit show. I don't know how Dallas is doing. I haven't, I don't pay attention to those teams really because they're not in my wheelhouse. But I'm gonna say I know Aaron Rodgers. It's a name. He's a top quarterback for a reason. Although this year he's made not so much, but it could just be like you said, like Joseph said, if they start catching balls, they're unstoppable. Sunday might be the day. And, they say any given Sunday, that may be the day.
Pull their shit together.
Who fucking knows?
And the Cowboys' schedule hasn't really been that difficult early on.
I mean, even like the Vegas spread has it. They're within a touchdown of each other. So
yeah, I really think the Green Bay is going to come back. Yep.
You thinking this is where they pull their shit together and make a run?
Yep.
I mean, it's possible. All right. So locked in. I locked in mine at the Dallas. Y'all two went Green Bay. So I am putting Green Bay down whenever I send this off.
Okay.
Next one is Chargers in San Francisco because I misspelled it.
Mm-hmm.
Charger.
San Francisco.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so the Chargers beat the Raiders 24-19, lost to the Chiefs 24-27, lost to the Jags 38-10, beat the Texans 34-24, beat the Browns 30-28, beat the Broncos 16-19, the lost to the Seahawks 37-23, beat the Falcons 20-17.
Mm-hmm. Let me say, and the Chargers are 3-1 this season on the road. So,
Chargers are good on the road.
49ers lost to the Bears 10-19, beat the Seahawks 7-27, lost to the Broncos 10-11, beat the Rams 9-24, beat the Panthers 37-15, lost to the Falcons 14-28, lost to the Chiefs 44-23, beat the Rams 31-14. They got Jimmy Garoppolo as quarterback right now.
Yep.
Yep.
Other one. Like I know Jimmy G. So. But, yeah, I think the Chargers have a better record on the road, and they've got, what does it say here? They've got at least two of the key players returned from injuries this week. So, I'm going to say Chargers for me.
Where? Man, there's only 32 teams here. So Chargers turnover. All right.
I think the 49ers are going to win.
All right.
That's my vote.
What are their records again? Off the rip, I don't.
5-3 Chargers, 4-4 49ers. They're right there neck and neck.
About the same, yeah.
All right. So Chargers. All right. So, all right. What y'all's pick?
I'm saying Chargers.
49ers.
49ers. Okay. I'm Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Chargers because they have a higher rated offense. San Francisco has a higher rated defense. Chargers are significantly better in turnovers. So, 2 out of the 3 metrics that you can just look at are there. All right.
That's fine. You can go Chargers, but just remember this guy said 49ers.
What is the line? What does Vegas have this?
They've got the Chargers at 28, 40, and so they've got a point, but they're saying the Chargers at San Francisco -7, and they're hoping pick Chargers by 1 point. So
yeah, so Vegas is on Chargers, and then who's at home again? They're at San.
They're going to be, the Chargers are going to be at San Francisco, and they've been, like I said, 3-1 on the road this season. So they seem to capitalize on road games.
Well, they're going to be 3-2.
Maybe it could be 4-1. You never know.
Joe and Chargers. Hex
Yep.
On 49ers. All right. And then the last game is we also have to pick points on. So Washington at the Phillies.
Oh, God.
Right? Right? Of all the teams.
Yeah.
To do the points on.
Right.
So I'm going to do my same thing. Turnovers.
I'm going to go Eagles, obviously win. No question.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say...
Oh, yeah. Eagles by a long shot in this category.
Okay. Yeah. Because they've got A.J. Brown. He's on my fantasy league. I need the Eagles to do well this week.
I'm going to say the Eagles are going to get... do I have to pick scores for both?
Yeah, hold on. Well, before we do that, let's finish each of these metrics real quick, or let me finish like y'all can do it.
Okay.
Turnovers, defense, points per game. It's total points scored by both teams.
Okay.
I'm going to say Eagles are going to get 29 and 14 for Commanders.
So 29 and 14. All right.
So 43.
Mm-hmm.
Strong answer. Eagles. How'd you come up with 29? Hex.
Because they've gotten 29 points in 2 of their games.
I was going to say, this I have no idea how to pick what the score's going to be, so I would be useless in this category.
So the Eagles already beat the Commanders 24-8 on September 25th with 3 touchdowns. So I'm going with the Commanders will get 14 points. And not necessarily 2 touchdowns. But
how'd you come up with that?
I don't know. Just thought about it. Guessed.
Just eyeballing it. All right.
I threw a dart, okay? In my brain, I threw a dart.
Right.
All right. And it landed at that number.
14 sounds good.
All right. Joe, your opinion.
What Hex said, I have no idea. I don't know how you even guesstimate points they're going to score in a game. So that's why I said I'm useless in this metric. But
so the hilarity of your guesses are the average points scored by Philadelphia Eagles per game is 28.1 points.
I wasn't wrong.
Average, yeah, that was dead nuts on. The average for Washington is 17.7. So your guess of 14 is off by a field goal, and that's pretty damn close. What's
crazy is I was like, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. It was going through my head at the very beginning, and I'm like, well, but they only got 8 points, and well, maybe I'm down to move it up to 17.
Well, so what?
Because that was in my head at first. If I followed my first thought, I was going to go with the 17. And my gut feeling said I should add a field goal in there, but
as we'll go with 44 points. So are you familiar with pigeonhole theorem? We're going to do a little math here. Pigeonhole theorem is if you take 2 people who guess like jelly beans in a container, like if you average those 2 guesses, they'll be significantly closer than the 2 guesses made by the 2 individuals. And that happens almost across the board.
Okay.
So we'll split my guess and your guess, and we'll go with that. 44. All right. Lock this bitch in. We have all of our picks. If we win, I don't know. We'll just drop it into the stream.
Right?
We'll keep the gambling going. Who knows?
Yeah.
If we win, if we hit this line 100%, then I'm gonna take us up on some on some money lines in Vegas and shit like that.
I'm gonna say this become a betting stream after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, off the rip.
Yeah.
So.
All right. We're now 2 hours in.
Yes, we have.
Good episode.
That
this
took
week.
way longer than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
We'll just start with that next week.
There you go.
Throw everything else in over it. So,
right.
All right.
Although I do like that. I think it's good. I like going.
No, it's good.
Looking at numbers, looking at teams. Yeah.
I'm not upset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about on the stream before we kill the stream?
No, I'm pretty sure we can kill it at 2 hours.
Right. If we ain't said it in the last 2 hours, it don't need to be said, apparently.
Yeah. Donna Webster is a trooper if she's still in here.
She just said, okay, good night. That's my mom.
Yeah,
there you go. Okay, cool. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mommy.
Thanks. And I don't know if my mom was sitting through 2 hours.
No. I'll tell you right now, probably not going to happen.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. But hang out for just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So that concludes episode 8. We'll catch you next week, next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Fantasy Football League. Don't forget, Friday is our next episode. What is it? Episode 3 that's airing. Don't miss it. They only get better and better every week. So we'll see you on Friday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time for episode 3 of Between the Brothers Gaming.
Hell yeah, join us.